Good morning, good afternoon, and or good evening. You are watching Nub's Collection, a YouTube series dedicated to the cataloging and review of every game in my physical media collection. As always, I am your host, Victory Nub, and today we are looking at Global Defense, released in March of 1988. So one of the things that I thought I was going to have fun doing at the beginning of every episode of Nub's Collection is sharing, if I had any recollection, what I remembered about every game that we would be playing. And this is one of those games where I get to look at and go, I don't remember anything about this game. Honestly, when I was putting together the list of games for the Sega Master System that I had and the order that I was going to be playing them in, I got to this game and I said, this is one of the three games that I had that we were not going to be able to look at simply because it was going to require the light phaser or the whatever the light gun is that you get with the Sega Master System. It turns out this game can be played with a controller, and in fact, you can't play it with the gun. You have to use a controller to do it. So this one we will take a look at. I have a feeling I'm not going to do very well because it's kind of interesting mechanics. You move a cursor around on screen to shoot targets, kind of like, well, I was going to say kind of like a game, but you don't move a cursor around. Actually, you use the D-pad to move the cursor around, but also you have to hold a button to physically move your satellite. And when I was a kid, I have a feeling that the combination of those two things probably melted my little brain, and I was so terrible at this game. I hated it and never played it, but hopefully with the years of experience as a gamer, I'm going to find a way to muscle through this game today, and we'll make actual progress, which is something that I'd probably never been able to do when I was younger. But we like to start every episode of this series by looking at the story setup in the instruction manual. And big surprise, the story section in this manual is called What's Happening. Let's go ahead and get started. The enemy is at it again. From secret bases located all over the galaxy, powerful missiles and killer satellites have been launched at Earth. Your job is to stop them. The only things that stand between Earth and 10 waves of deep space military hardware are you, a hotshot satellite jockey, and your global defense satellite. Are you good enough to earn the title of Global Defender? Your mission. The enemy has launched ballistic missiles and recon ampersand, they had and then ampersand after the recon, fighter satellites from bases all over the galaxy. Intercept and destroy them. For firepower, you have a supercharged laser cannon, but you have to shoot fast. If the missiles get past you, Earth will be destroyed. And if the enemy gets you before you get them, nothing will stand in their way. Your battle will take you from the Earth's atmosphere to beyond the rings of Saturn. I just bit my lip. The enemy attacks will come in 10 stages, 5 offensive halves and 5 defensive halves. End of game. You start Global Defense with 3 satellites. If you shoot down all 3 enemy craft in a stage, you receive a perfect score and a bonus satellite. Make it through stage 10 and Earth is saved. But if all your satellites are destroyed, the game is over and Earth is defeated. I think the rest is just setting the story up, but yeah, anyway. So super deep storytelling in this one. And I gotta be honest, it's played a couple of times. That intro music when your satellite shows up is weird. Is a good way to put it. By the way, I don't know if I do this every single episode. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. This episode is being recorded on September 27th of 2021. And if you are the kind of person who goes in and checks the dates that I record episodes, you know this is coming out after the recording and probably release of the I can't even say it, the Shadowgate drinking game episode. And if you watched it and found that it was incredibly distasteful and you can't believe I wasted my time recording something like that, I do apologize. If, however, you thought it was a great idea and you're super happy that I wasted my brain cells and energy recording it, thank you. This is going to be nothing like that. It's just going to be more like a standard episode. Yoink. Okay, let's see if I can do this without losing a ship. And by losing a ship, I mean letting missiles or any of the other stuff happen that they said was bad. Oh, I got hit. Don't go off the screen! I failed. So it is certainly engaging, and I am certainly doing a terrible job, so I guess I'm not surprised or disappointed. The play of this is very reminiscent of Missile Command, which if you're anyone under the age of 30, you're probably going, what the blank is Missile Command? It was an Atari game where basically you just kind of pointed a cursor at the screen and you tried to stop. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I guess it's a good thing. All right, getting in a shuttle. Missile Command basically involved you moving a cursor around the screen and firing weapons to stop streaking missiles from coming down and hitting your city. So that's kind of... It's definitely hitting those notes. Especially this phase. I wonder if this is doing good or bad. Okay, well, I definitely didn't get all of them. Oh, boy. Okay, so you can hit them before they get this close! Good lord! I don't think I'm getting this one. Oh, I don't like this at all! Look, I'm sorry, people of Earth. I did the best I could. I don't know what continent this is. I see a lot of what looks like ice, so I'm going to guess it's something very northern. That's probably Russia. I'm sorry, Russia. I guess in the 80s it would have been the Soviet Union still. I'm sorry, Soviet Union. This wasn't on purpose. I was trying to save you from whatever evil force this is. I harbor no ill will. Get out of the way. Boy, your satellite moves really slow. So I had some fun personal trivia set up for the episode, assuming that there was going to be time to talk about it. And boy, I'm actually really engaged right now because you got to... This is one of those classic, like, pat your head and rub your stomach at the same time situations where I got to keep an eye on my personal ship's condition and the enemies on the screen I'm trying to shoot. So I'm feeling more engaged than I usually am with some of these games where it's just kind of like, it's so easy, I don't need to think about it. Credit where credit's due. They had an idea that's probably more complex than most games at this time, but I'm doing terrible. We're in stage 3? Maybe I'm doing good. I don't know. I guess we'll find out here since I have to do the defense part. Boy, that intro music is goofy. At least there's no cap on how many shots you can fire. You just go ham on it. Uh-oh. Alright, I may lose, but I am not getting shot down. I think. Look at that. This may be one of those rare exceptions where I actually make it to the end of the game. So used to failing all the time. Well, no, this says stage 2, so I guess I'm not as far along as I thought. Stage 3. So this is usually where the games that we play in the series, rather, tend to kick me in the junk and say, hey, this is an older style game and you're probably going to die here. Okay, out of the way. Don't get hit by that thing. Missiles! Whoa! Ah, crap. Ah, there we go. Yep, made it to the 3rd stage. That's what happens. So, let's go into the story that I had prepared, because I think it's a nice little bit of history for yours truly. When I was looking at the case for the game earlier today, just getting ready to start it up, it kind of prompted... Why aren't you starting? Go. Start the game. It brought back some memories about, well, when I set up the chain of thoughts that I had. First of all, I looked at it and immediately went to the program that Ronald Reagan was trying to get started, the Satellite Defense, I think it was Satellite Defense Initiative, SDI, something like that. What everyone more familiar with it called Star Wars. And when you draw those parallels, my thoughts immediately went to what's the first thing that I remembered as a kid about space. And in that particular case, it was the Challenger disaster. And in my particular case, the parallel I had there was I remember distinctly the first day of school, or first day I remember of school, maybe not the first day of school. And when I was a kid, the first day of school that I remember, whether it was first or not, I remember going to the lunchroom, because I didn't go to class right away. I think I was in the lunchroom while they were doing something in the office. So again, this may not have been the first day. It may have just been the first one I remember. But I remember that they had pictures of Krista McAuliffe in the lunchroom area. Krista McAuliffe was one of the astronauts that was on board the Challenger when it launched and exploded. And more importantly, she was set to become the first teacher to ever go into space. I don't know, ever, or if just as part of the space shuttle program. But that was part of the reason why they probably were so proud of, you know, her, and had pictures of her up on the walls in the lunchroom. Now, there is a little bit of history there as far as why they had a picture of her up in the school, besides the fact that, you know, any teacher going into space is probably a big moment for education, educators. Krista McAuliffe taught school in Maryland, Lanham, Maryland, actually. Growing up in Northern Virginia, you know, that area is, if you don't live on the East Coast, this is, you know, something that doesn't mean, you don't make the connection easily about that. But basically, everyone who lives in either Northern Virginia, Maryland, or DC is all considered part of the greater metropolitan area. So that's probably why they had her picture up, not just because it was a teacher, but it was because it was a teacher who was local. So if my memory of the first day of school that I remember is timing based, it is entirely possible, because I believe the accident happened in 1986, in January of 1986. That may not have been the first day that I was going to school. It may just be that memory stuck out because if it happened in January, that may have been the day that the incident took place. Not saying that's the case. I'm just saying, you know, I draw a connection because it sticks out in my mind. I don't remember much else about that particular day. I just remember being in the lunchroom, and I remember eating before going to any classes or anything. Which is weird, because we lived in that area for basically the first 10 years of my life, so I can't imagine that I would have had to have been delayed going to school for reasons of us moving to the area or anything like that. Even if I didn't live in the same house, because it is possible that we had moved to that house right around the time that I would have been going to elementary school for the first time. But yeah, that all I really remember was seeing a picture of Krista McAuliffe. For whatever reason, in my mind, I always connected her with Sally Ride, and I don't think it's the same people, because I looked at a picture earlier today, and the picture I remember looks very much like Krista McAuliffe. But that's about everything that I remember from that particular day. A very sad day. And I heard recently a little detail that was extra horrifying about that particular accident, which is that they have reason to believe from research on the explosion that the initial igniting explosion of the rocket that basically ended their flight did not. They don't know for certain that it actually killed any of the astronauts. They believe that they could have and likely were alive for the entire descent back down to Earth, and then the impact of the shuttle crashing back into the ocean, because I think they crashed in the ocean, was what killed them. Which is really sad. Because you spend, the last minute or so of your life in free fall knowing that you're not going to survive. Horrible timing, since you see something crashing into Earth there. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make that morbid, but yeah, I'm not doing too great. I hate to say that it's in keeping with tradition of this series. I can't get past the third stage. Get that thing. And just like Missile Command, as I brought up earlier, you fire your weapon and then there's just kind of an explosion where you point it on the screen. I would love to get one stage where I get all of the weapons, blow them all up before I get to the end. Let me get them. Got it. And get one over here. And get him. Yeah, the thing with Missile Command, of course, was when you shot it, the bullet didn't get to the... I thought that was a power-up. I'm an idiot. The shot didn't get to the spot where you're aiming right away. There was a little bit of a delay, kind of like what's happening right now when I shoot. Oh, man. Well, there goes that. There's no luck. Well, wait. Maybe there's luck after all. I could get this. Hey, does that count as perfect? Technically, I did use a power-up that reduced my meter down at the bottom. I think that means... I guess we'll see. Nope, it doesn't count. Well, that stinks. Get out of the way. But I keep trying to say something about Missile Command, and I get sidetracked. You would fire a shot, and there would be a delay of it reaching the target and blowing up. And well, there was something really morbid about the way that they made games back in the 80s, where it was like they would make all these stories about missiles going into space and then coming back down and crashing into Earth, and you having to be the last line of defense trying to stop it from, assuming, unleashing nuclear Armageddon. But they just don't make your cursor fast enough to keep up with everything on the screen, so I don't know how they expect you to get a perfect score. Unless you memorize everything, and I just died again. Honestly, I can't wait until we get to the Super Nintendo games where I actually can play decently in most of them. Boy, these games are so depressing. Like, they deflate you so easily. You're like, man, I can't wait to look back at these games. I'm going to be so good at them after so long. And it turns out, no, they were just... The difficulty balance on them was so unrealistically high that you just can't... You can't seem to do anything beyond the third stage. Alright, get away from the top. Yeah, the source of all my troubles. Grab that guy. I think one of them is supposed to make my weapon have a bigger explosion when it hits, but I have not observed that yet. Alright, let's not run into that thing that... I thought that was gonna miss me. Oh, no, no, no. No, I don't want to lose this. I'm doing so good. This may have actually been it. I know I ran into a couple of them, but I don't know if that counts against your score or not. Hey! I got a penguin. Is that a penguin? Cool, I skipped the defense part this time. I consider that a mission accomplished. I may lose. I'm not going to get all 10 stages, but I managed to do something that I didn't think I was going to get. One perfect. Nope, down. Wait, they really wanted to be cool. They would have made it so that you could shoot the... Nope, stay. Grab that. There we go. I think the yellow ones seem to be making me faster, not necessarily the cursor or the shots bigger. Well, maybe that is. I don't know. And that one just reduces your score, your negative score. Oh, this was... Nope. How the heck did that shoot? I shot it already. See, if they want to be really cool, they would have told you what planet you're over in each of these, because that, I assume, is Neptune. But I don't know. Alright, my favorite part. And then it looks like you're back over Earth. So I wonder if that means you're going all the way out to the edge of, you know, known space to do offensive stuff and then coming back to Earth to stop their attack? Alright, things are going alright so far. Which means the bottom's about to drop out. Uh-oh! No, 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 no! Oh! I think I'm starting to get a feel for this, which means I'm about to eat it. Did we just beat level 3? That was level 3, right? No, still level 2. I got my hopes up. I would assume this is the moon. I don't like you! Stay away from me! Okay, yellow guy. Alright, good. Good, 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 good. Oh. No, 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 no. No, I'm not worried about all of them. I just want to get enough that we don't lose. Hey! Grab that. Yeah, I think the purple just makes your attack, that's the one that makes your explosions bigger. Up. Oh, stay away. Nope. Almost, I'm not worried about letting things get by as long as I don't die again. But I think that affects my starting score in the next phase, which is not great. Alright. Well, we got to the defensive part of Stage 3. That's progress, right? Ooh! Apparently in this distant future, we have stuff on the moon. Whole colony. Which I think in September 2021, that is what they want to do, is they want to establish a permanent lunar base. At least the US does. Who knows if that'll ever happen. I think first we have to actually want to spend money on the space program, which... who knows if that'll ever happen again. Holy cow, we did it. We made it past level 3. I wish I had one of those little confetti shooter bottles. So I need a little bit of refreshment there. I'm happy they reset your meter at the end of the level. Okay. That could have been bad. Got it. Oh, no, you don't. I don't like that at all. The satellite and 3 things spinning in circles. Nope. Nope. Boy, after I think stage 2, it's basically just survive. Not so much tear the enemy apart and try to get the perfect score. Of course, another speed or damage boost would be really nice, game. Not telling you how to do your job, game, but that would be really awesome. No, you don't. No, you don't. We're starting to get a feel for this. I'm using the Royal Wii today. Boy, I would have thought by now I would have gotten an extra life just based on points. But I guess the game is stingy about that. Can't drive kids crazy with a very small number of levels if you don't make it impenetrably difficult to beat it. Oh, I don't like these missile layouts. Some of them are unfair. Ooh, got that one. Probably should have moved. I'm gonna do that now. Oh, if I lose one more, it's over! I lost. Alright, well, we made it to the 4th level. That is probably some cause for celebration. That never seems to happen in these games that are designed to munch quarters on a console that doesn't have a coin slot. So let's go ahead and wrap things up and get to the review phase. Sorry, I just moved my mic if that made a weird sound. Let's do the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good, I think the mechanic, while it's not perfect, actually is a pretty solid idea for a game that probably should have been a phaser-type gun game, where you move the cursor with the D-pad unless you hold down one button, and then you move the satellite independent of the cursor. It's one of those, pat your head while you rub your belly type situations. You're trying to do 2 different tasks at once. And that can make for fun gameplay. Although this one obviously was a little bit difficult for me to finish. Apparently I made it close to halfway through the game, so it was functional. The bad probably would have been cooler if there were more power-ups instead of just your shot gets a little bigger if you pick up one of the power-ups. As far as the ugly, that intro song at the beginning of every stage is weird. What is this? You just heard it again. It's terrible. I don't get it. They could have gone for something a little more heroic. That just has like a funk to it, and I don't like it at all. But let's go ahead and do the review score as we have started doing, and I think I should say as we always do now. We review it with Randars, 1 to 10 Randars, and I believe this episode is going to get a 5. 5 Randars. There is variety in the music. It would have been nice if they put something in the intro here or on the title screen. It's awkwardly silent. Obviously, there was something that they didn't get around to, or maybe there wasn't enough space on the cartridge to do songs for the intro part. The mechanics are fun, but apparently even if you were really good at it, the game's very short, only 10 levels. You probably would have been done with the game in an hour if you were good enough. Maybe not even that long. And again, more power-ups would have been nice. Literally all you could do is make your StarCraft faster, make your explosions bigger or reduce the damage meter at the bottom for missing ships. So, fun game. Probably would have been interesting to see if this was a light phaser game at some point and how differently it would have played if that was the case. If, like, one hand has the phaser and the other one has the satellite. I think that would have been a cool idea, but we play the game as it is, not the game as it theoretically could have been. So, I think that's going to do it for this particular... There's that stupid song again. I guess it's not a song, it's more of a jingle, but it's so weird. I think that's going to do it for this episode of Nubs Collection. As always, I do appreciate everyone watching, especially if you're watching this post-Shadowgate drinking game and you're starting to question if you're wasting your time watching this channel. Please come back. I promise I won't do that again. Or will I? Thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you next time.